Good morning and welcome to Fiber Town. This is episode 42 and it is November 20th, 2013. I'm Emily, Chain of Fools, or Fiber Town on the internet. And hey, how's everybody doing? Having a nice little Wednesday morning here. Got some things to show you guys today, and I just wanted to say if you're new, welcome. It's great to see you here, and I hope you come back and enjoy yourself in Fiber Town. You can visit my blog, which is fibertown.blogspot.com, fiber with an R-E, and you can find me on iTunes and YouTube, and let's see where else. Ravelry group where you can enter your FOs for a chance to win a prize every month. And if you feel like it, and if you haven't already, hop on over to iTunes and leave a star rating or a review for all your favorite podcasts. And a lot of you have done that already for me, and I really appreciate it. So, let's see. I want to say welcome to a few people. Tanya Marie, who is from the DC area. Not sure exactly where DC area, but she must be because she's come to the Fiberspace Black Friday sale, and we've been chatting about that. Let's see. So hi, Tanya. And let's see. We also have Knit Jersey 9, who's Monica from Jersey. Well, New Jersey. Not Jersey, like the Channel Island. And she has been enabled by me, I guess, from a long ago episode to get some fiber from Julie Spins, who's on Etsy and I think Big Cartel as well. Or no, Artfire. She has 2 shops. And she asked me where I learned to do supported spindling. And I was very lucky to be able to take a class from, I think her name is TJ. She is the wife of Mike, who is the Spanish peacock. So I think she goes by the Spanish peahen. And yeah, she did a class a year ago. I think it was a year ago, November, at a local yarn store, local to me, Uniquities in Vienna, Virginia. So just as a little background, and I know I've talked about this before, I tried supported spindling on my own using YouTube, and it was one of the few things I couldn't get a hang of just by self-teaching. And so I took the class, and I'm very glad I did because I was finally able to get some twist into my fiber, and I was like, amazing. But I have to say it took months of practice to feel somewhat adept at supported spindling. So for me at least, it did not come naturally at all, but now I love it. So I'm really glad I persevered. So a long story for you, Monica, but that's how I learned. I did have to take a class from someone who knew what they were doing and could troubleshoot with me. I also want to say hey to Judso, who's from Adelaide, Australia, and she is a podcast junkie. I can relate. And she doesn't spin yet, so you might get inspired. I definitely did, watching the Knit Girls. I think I've been knitting for 5 years, and I've been spinning for 2.5, maybe? I have to go back and look. I noted it on my Ravelry profile so I wouldn't forget when I started spinning. So, we've got show and tell today. We've got whips. We've got a mention of spinning. We have acquisitions and up and coming. So, show and tell. I'm going to declare this podcast with a knitted hat week so I can just spare you all the shenanigans with my hair. Yeah, I like to podcast early in the morning, not super early, but early-ish, and I want to go out and exercise afterwards, so I don't want to do the whole shower routine until I'm ready and I've finished exercising, so I'm just going to put a hat on for the time being. So this is one of my show and tells. Can you all see it? It is a hat of my own making upping, and it is out of Highland Handmaid's Handspun, and it's mixed BFL, which I believe is also called Humbug BFL because it's different colors in the fleece. I'm not clear if it's different animals, fleeces that are blended together, or if it's one animal that has different colors, like several colors in its fleece. But there's the leftover, and it's from Highland Handmaids. Let's see if I can get it to focus. There we go. Highland Handmaids Mixed BFL in the Arabesque colorway, and I 3-plied it. and it's probably a DK to light worsted weight. It's pretty consistent. And it does have greens and corally salmons in it, but I'm hoping it's masculine enough to give to my uncle. He's turning 60 this weekend, and his wife is throwing him a party. So I'm getting a chance to wear it. I think I cast on 80 stitches, 2x2 ribbing, knit for maybe 5 inches, and then I just knit 8, knit 2 together, decrease like that every other row, decreasing 1 stitch less every other row. So I've got a nice ball of this left over. It will go in my leftover stash. And do you all remember that worsted leftover mitered square blanket? It'll go in there someday when I have the time. All right, so I also have my daughter's temperature scarf. That is my second show and tell for the day. And I just got a text from my friend Sarah in Germany. We're doing the hero together, and she just texted me 2 matching sleeves. So we're both about at the same point in this sweater, so that's exciting. And we're, well, at least I am. I need to get her on board with this, but we're doing this for the Joanna Spring Knit Spin Farm Buddy Knit Along. So we're knitting together. Okay, here is a sushi roll of my daughter's temperature scarf. And this represents a year's worth of knitting. This is finished, ends are woven in. It looks kind of junky in spots, I won't lie. But it has a lot of sentimental value. And this is a representation of her 10th year in temperatures. So we have, let's see, where did we start? Okay. Unrolling, unrolling, unrolling. Okay, so this was the beginning of last year. November of last year, going into the winter. Winter, winter, winter. The white was the coldest temperature. You can see it was kind of a cold winter for this area. And then we're getting into spring and hot temperatures. And it was actually not a very hot summer. The hottest temperature is represented by purple. The second hottest is represented by red. So we had a lot of reds, but look at that, only 4 days of purple, see? And the orange, most of the orange, I had to change oranges right here because I ran out of my friend Sarah's hand spun. And the hand spun softened up and relaxed beautifully in the scarf after washing. So I just washed it and hung it on the shower door afterwards. So I don't want it to strangle me, but you get the idea. It's a very fun little scarf, and I'm going to turn down my... It's a very fun big scarf, actually. It's kind of Doctor Who-ish. She loved it. She knew it was coming. She saw me knitting on it, but she acted surprised. So she had a lovely birthday, and she had a fibery acquisition for her birthday, which I'm counting among my acquisitions today. So that is it for show and tell. I think this will just get worn when it's super cold. All right, whips. All of that Christmas knitting I showed you all last week has been set aside for the time being. I have my doubts about whether or not it will get done. People might just get 1 sock and another one on needles in their stockings. We'll see. The main thing I did, well, I finished this, but that was kind of a minor project. I worked on my hero. I was pretty monogamous because I want it done this month. I want it done. I don't know if I'll enter it in any of the Nanny Swimo events, but I kind of wanted to do it. So the 2 sleeves are done. You saw those. I spent 4 or 5 days, well, I guess more like 4 days working through the body. And if you'll remember, I had to rip back because I chose the wrong size. Way too big. But last night, I was able to join on the sleeves to the body. And I made some modifications to the body because my row gauge was very, very off by like 3 rows. And I did knit the stitch count for a larger size on the bottom And then I decreased all the way up to this next size down, so that I have a smaller waist and a smaller bust. Because I got the hourglass thing going on. Okay, so this is being knit out of Cascade 220 for the body and shepherd's wool for the color work. And oh my gosh, loving the shepherd's wool. If I did go to Fiber Space for Black Friday, that's what I would want to get, a sweater's worth of shepherd's wool. I don't think it's gonna happen. I got lots of yarn. Okay, so here it is. Now I know I said last week that I wasn't gonna do the Elizabeth Zimmerman hem, but I changed my mind. So you'll notice that the hem right now is rolled up. Now this is the Cascade 220. This is showing up very pale, but it's more of, oh, there we go. It's a lavender. And I've started on the yoke, and I'm doing the gray. I don't know if you can see that. I'm doing the gray first. And then I will move into the, well, I'm calling it mustard, but Shepherd's Wool calls it autumn gold. That'll be next. Then more lilac. And then back to Cascade purple, plummy purple. It's a heather. I think it's gonna look great. And I'm in love with the colors, and I think the yoke's gonna go fast because it's color work. You wanna see the next color appear, you wanna see the pattern come to life. So after the yoke is done and the collar, and there's some short rows in there after the color work, I will go back and I will pick up, let's see, I think the instructions for doing this kind of hem are in the Opinionated Knitter by Elizabeth Zimmerman, and you basically pick up in the second stitch of your cast on row, and I just did a long tail cast on. The second stitch, not the second loop, like the back loop, and you knit up for as long as you want your hem to be, and I will be knitting some sort of color work, maybe a quote, maybe a Baudelaire quote. Maybe I'll do something like Lux calme et volupté. It's a famous line of a poem. So, and maybe the date. So we'll see. And I might actually do the hem out of a completely different color. But I have the rest of the yoke to sort of think about it. And I have tried it on. It does fit. It's going to be more of an A-line, I think, because of my sizing choices. But I am really excited to get that done this month, and it's going to happen. I think there's a chance at least I could get the yoke done by next week. I don't know about the hem. We'll see. So there's some planning involved and maybe some charting. So you can, if you are knitting the hero, please tag it with FT Hal. And somebody's already finished one in the knit along group, the knit along thread rather. I'm trying to remember who it is. You hear my phone? Yeah, I have the Harry Potter ringtone because that's how nerdy I am. But that's someone from Los Angeles. I don't know anyone in Los Angeles. So, okay, so the Hero Knit Along FT Hal, tag your project. It's going until January 15th. There will be prizes because, hello, if you knit a sweater, you should be eligible for prizes. You have plenty of time. You could probably start a sweater and knit it in 3 weeks. So if you wanted to start it after the holidays, you still have a chance. Let's see. I'm not sure what the prizes will be yet. If you have a prize you would like to send for this or for my Potiversary, which is also in January, please contact me. I know for either one or both of them, I'm going to be putting some hand spun for prizes, patterns, maybe a bag that I sew. So I have some ideas. So it'll be worth it. Alrighty, spinning. Remember the Hog's Island I showed you guys last week? The little few locks that I found and I combed and I spun a single. I have 3 yards of a 2-ply. So bouncy. It has not been washed, thwacked. The twist has not been set. So it's still pretty energetic. And let's see. Bing. Very energetic. Very interesting yarn. And I said this came from a sheep at the Mount Vernon Historical Plantation in Mount Vernon, Virginia, where they have, I think, about 30 Hogs Island sheep. Some of the only ones left in the world. So that's a little special skein. And I might, yeah, I might contact them in the spring again when they do their shearing. So, all right. Wow, this is really going fast today. Acquisitions. I was lucky enough to win a prize on the Knit One Heart 2 podcast for my old town. They had a sweater knit along, and I posted a picture of the old town, and I won. Can you believe it? I won a skein of the Common Grackle colorway by Enchanted Knoll Farms. All right, let's see if we can get this colorway. This is a beautiful colorway. Enchanted Knoll. It is a superwash merino nylon. And 435 yards. Look at that. I feel like the lighting is not doing it justice. Let's try something else. No, not really doing it either. Well, this is blues and greens and browns and purples and this gorgeous rusty bit, just like the bird, the common grackle, which is so beautiful. The plumage is gorgeous. Thank you, Sheila and Wendy. I love that. I got lucky on a few podcasts, actually, and I won something from a Knitting Natter podcast as well. I won 2 patterns. So thank you for the love. And that was from Zena, Knitting Natter Zena. And she has a podcast that I've watched since the beginning. She lives in the UK. She sent me her very first pattern. Let me see. She has a pattern out now. So she gifted me that, and thank you so much, Zena. It's beautiful. Let me show you guys what it looks like. It's called Sowing the Seeds. Sowing the seeds of love. Sorry, I shouldn't sing. Oh, here we go. It's a beautiful cowl, and I have the perfect skein of yarn in mind for this one. And there's Zena wearing it. Ugh. I hope that doesn't do it justice, but it looks like a really fun knit. And I have some Sheep Dreamery. I think it's like a DK weight. Has cashmere content. This pattern recommends fingering, but I think you could probably swing it with DK. So yeah, it uses under 200 yards of fingering weight, so it's a great pattern for using up leftover bits of lovely yarn, so I will be knitting that. Thank you so much for all the patterns, Zena. Let's see. My daughter got a Zoom loom from her grandmother. Can I just say, I'm going to purloin this. I don't know how it's used yet, but I'm gonna figure it out. She loves the rainbow looms. She loves all looms. She's weaving on the peg loom right now, so once that is finished, I will definitely show you guys. Zoom loom, because I need another craft. I haven't done real knitting or real weaving in a while, and it's on my list. I have some rainbow cotton that I want to weave soon. So over the holidays, perhaps. Alrighty. You might be wondering why I'm wearing a t-shirt. I never wear t-shirts. This is my husband's, and I just thought it was appropriate today. Let me show you what it says. Hodor. I got this one for him. And you might, if you watch Game of Thrones, you know that reference, or if you've read the books. Hodor. So, I got a pre-order for Gourmet Stash, because I have to collect as much as I can of Gourmet Stash. And this was her Game of Thrones pre-order. And I chose Cat of the Canals / No One. And that is a reference to Arya Stark. This is the character that these colorways refer to. And she is a daughter of Ned Stark, who, it's a whole thing. Read the book, watch the series. But she's a feisty wee girl and a tomboy and one of my favorite characters in the series. So she is, let's see, what I love came with this order were a couple of extras. I got, let's see, some soak, a sample of Lacey, because Kate carries soak, and she now has her own custom Lolo bar scent, which is lovely. So she sent pins along with this Winter is Coming. I hate Joffrey. I'm definitely going to wear this because I hate him. He's the worst. All right. These are the poonies for Cat of the Canal, and the colors are not going to, I really have to try to make here. Maybe if I just do one by itself. Let's try against a white background because these are beautiful and they're very, very special content-wise. Okay, well, darn it, I'm going to have to describe it again. So, this one, I'm not sure which colorway is, oh yes, I do know. Rambling, sorry. Okay, all right, let's talk about this one first. You can see this one a little bit better because it's not as dark. This is No One. This is the name of the colorway. It's got merino, superfine merino, bamboo, and recycled sari silk. And these will be spun as singles and then plied together. It'll be amazing. The other one is Cat of the Canals. This has merino, superfine merino, silk, yak, bamboo, and Kiviot cloud. And it's really beautiful. This is black with bits of a rusty kind of red. Maybe not rusty, maybe more of a claret color. And this camera is just not picking it up, darn it. Anyway, amazing. Smells amazing. This is the one with the Kiviot cloud and the yak. Ugh. You're going on my Tibetan, and maybe one on my Turkish. So, I want all the Game of Thrones colorways. They're beautiful. So yeah, so that's an acquisition, and I think that might be it for my acquisitions. Of course, I've lost my page now. Okay. Last thing, up and coming. I really would love to participate in the Monster Cal with the Suburban Stitcher. And I think I was looking through my stash yesterday and I was thinking how wonderful it would be to knit this thing out of Malabrigo leftovers, like the Malabrigo worsted, the single. And then I was looking at the colorways for my hero and the colorways I'm using for the color work. Here's a picture of the Monster Cowl. You can knit it out of 2 or 3 colors, but why not as many as you want? I think it's it uses air and weight. How amazing would it be out of these 3 colors? The dark purple, the mustard, and the gray. If I have enough left over after my hero, I think I'll do that. Or these 3 colorways. I'll more likely have these. So that's the plan. That's in the future. And that's it. So I want to wish you all, and Alice wants to wish you all, she's on the heater right now, on the vent. I want to wish you all a wonderful week, and you all take care till I see you next. Bye-bye.